Jade Snow Wong graduated from Mills College in 1942, and she always had a great connection with the college. And in 1988, she conducted a tour to China. She was running the travel agency that after her husband had passed away. And so she started, so she had this tour, and I went on the tour with my son. And that's how I got to know her, and really through her was my introduction to the culture of China. I always knew her as Connie Ong, but Jade Snow Wong is, you know, the writer and ceramicist and travel agent. She just wore many hats, pardon the pun. I've studied art history my entire life, and I have always responded to color and probably abstraction and a playfulness and a whimsy, and these hats reflect all of that. I've also been fascinated with mythology, and so the hats also have tremendous symbolism. I first saw the hats at a shop, at a store called Indo Arts on Sacramento Street. And the owner, Nulika Glenn Clavert, had these hats that had been sent to him, I think, from a dealer in Hong Kong. And they were absolutely enchanting. And I fell in love with them right away. So every time he would get a hat in, he would call me. And of course I would run over there and I would purchase the hat because they were all so unique. And then what developed, in addition to his finding some hats when he went back to Indonesia, and Chinese families would give him hats, his contact in Hong Kong knew this old man in Shanghai. And the old man had been collecting for generations. And families, knowing of his interest, would bring them their family heirlooms. And so he amassed this amazing collection. And he was sending the collection to Seattle, New York, Germany, and also to San Francisco. Well, I was buying so many of his hats that he realized that I was the one that appreciated them more than anybody else. And in fact, I wrote him a letter telling him what joy his hats were bringing me, what a wonderful home they had found. And I was just grateful that he was sharing this with me. And I was told that he cried when my letter was read to him. And then he just started picking out his best hats for me to purchase. The hats were first displayed at the Museum of Craft and Folk Art. And that was in the year 2000. And there was a wonderful show there. In fact, they said it was the most popular show they had ever had. And it was designed by my good friend, Ted Cohen. And it was just a delight. And Connie, Jade Snow Wong, came to the opening, and we shared that experience, as we shared many other times. And so I feel a real connection with her and the hats, and also this museum, because my first time in this museum was at an exhibition of her ceramics, the retrospective of her ceramics here. So that's the reason that I'm giving this collection to the museum. It's in memory of Jade Snow Wong. I do have a favorite hat, and this doesn't have as much symbolism on it as some of the other hats. Well, the hats take on many different roles, but many of the hats, for instance, this hat, was probably worn for the new year, probably for a festival. But the hats were made to protect the child and to ward off the evil spirits. I hope that people will come to the collection and not only be delighted with just the visual experience, but they will also want to learn more about the symbolism.